Good morning, Chaldea, and welcome back to a show where three weebs tell you what events you just played through. I'm Cole.
Yeah, that works. I'm J-Mick.
And I'm Jacob.
And as my lovely intro suggested, today we're going to be talking about events in FGO, specifically the ones that we've had since the start of the year. Eventually we might go back and do, like, all the events that NA has had, but right now...
We almost don't have to, because we basically get to do all of the events that NA has ever had in revival form as we go, right?
I guess so.
For the most part.
You're right, there's probably some we don't get.
Well, the only thing is that the first Halloween event, the first Christmas event, those reruns already happened. We're not getting those back again.
Right.
And I think the only other event that is not like getting another rerun shortly or has not yet this year is Karno Kyokai, which is like still a year out almost.
And the Prismalia event, but
that's right.
I'm the only one who cares about that event, probably.
Alright, so what's the first event of the year?
Alright, so the first event that happened in January of this year, about mid to late January, was Moon Goddess.
Yeah.
It was a thing.
It had
that existed.
demon hearts in it.
It had, farm. It had the demon heart node, and that's like literally all I remember from that event. Like even the story was, it was like
it was bad.
The story was like bad Christmas.
So the thing is, Moon Goddess was the first like story event to ever happen in Fako. Like there was a banner before that with Gilgamesh, but this was the first one that actually had its own missions, its own story, separate from the singularities.
Yeah, they didn't do a great job. But, like, I understand that it was, like, their first attempt. Anyway.
It was a prototype, if you will. Subashi, okay.
So, yeah, no, it has the prototypical... hey, someone came to Chaldea and they took something and now we have to get it back story. Like, I swear to God, this is like half of the event stories. Or if they're not taking something...
No, pretty much just those two.
Dude, if they're not taking something, if someone shows up randomly in Chaldea or you show up somewhere and you're like, oh, wow, they took something or they need something and now we have to go on a quest and, oh, look, these random people have them and... Like, it's, I don't know, it feels like a lot of the bad stories are like that.
Yeah.
There are a fair number of stories like that. I suppose that's true.
I think it is, yeah, the bad stories do always seem to serve. The only one that's kind of like that is both Christmas events. Basically have that story, but both... Especially Christmas 2, I really like the story of.
Yeah, they did better.
Yeah, Christmas 2 had an actual character arc. Christmas 1 did not have that.
I still don't like Jalter Lily, though, because she's a weird lolly Santa.
That's the point!
I know.
The point is that it's just a bunch of random attributes that they stacked on top of Jalter. Or rather, stacked on top of John, because it's now Alter... It's now Lily is now a Santa, and just it
is kind of, it does feel like a parody of their own, gimmicks, but like still. Anyway, so yeah, that event happened. There's not a lot more to say about the Moon Goddess. There's not a lot more to say about Moon Goddess. There was a decent farming node and some stuff in the shop. It was boring, but like I mean, I needed the mats, so I guess that's something.
But thankfully, next event was not so boring.
Yeah, so, disregarding just the general, giveaway stuff from Heavensfield, because that's,
Not really an event.
No.
They call it an event.
They call it an event, but that's more of a misnomer. The next main thing was, late January into early February, the Chateau d'If.
Yeah, the Chateau de Milf, as we called it.
Yes, exactly. If you remember, this is actually...
As you called it.
And Cole.
This was actually when we started recording this podcast, because I remember we tried to roll for Dante's.
That's right.
None of us got Dante's.
You rolled one ticket.
I really
know
felt,
it worked for Merlin, but you don't get to do that every time.
I felt like I deserved it. But, no, yeah. Speaking of that, brief aside, I will note that I have heard on multiple occasions from people that I have actually, in the scope of things, gotten very lucky in this game. And I know it feels bad to spend hundreds of quartz on nothing, but the fact that I have both Merlin from a single ticket and my waifu means I really shouldn't complain.
Allow me to point out that you have gotten the same number of characters that you've tried for as I have.
That's so misleading. But yes, technically true. I've gotten the same number of rate up characters. Although that's only counting 5 stars, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But still, I mean, whatever.
But yeah, the
Chateau de Milf.
Chateau de Milf event.
Please stop calling
The
it that. It's French. It was not...
So was she. Anyway, so the event. This was the first I played Nerofest a little bit. This was the first actual challenge, I guess, event that I actually felt challenged on, especially the final node, which was a ton of fucking fun. I did only do it once.
Yeah,
but I ended up doing my usual mash Raiko in your Merlin team to just delete everything.
I liked my double Merlin Coolter comp. That worked.
Shit.
It worked pretty well. It's like, hey, what's the one downside of a berserker character with lots of damage? Oh, they're low HP totals. Well, what if they were invincible most of the time, regain 2,000 health per turn, and if they ever got low, we have 2 AoE invincibles and 3,000 health bonus.
Yes, Jacob, we know you're a dirty nutdecker.
Dude, it's just so obvious. I didn't even have to look
Some
at
of us
else.
had to use command seals to clear that.
I mean, I think
quest. Thank you very much.
I don't think I had to on that event, but there was definitely a later challenge quest that I had a lot more trouble with. It was the Valentine's Day one, I think. I actually had more trouble with that one because they nerfed the shit out of my healing, and I'm like, oh no. This is my whole plan.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Valentine's, the one thing I want to note about this event is I really liked the story of it. I don't like how they do the daily lockout story, so you can't just do it all at once, which I would rather do. But I liked how it was kind of just this really good exploration of Dante's character and his whole view on how everything works in it.
Also foreshadowing Nightingale, because this event actually came out in this story. It takes place in between London and America.
Okay,
so
that makes more sense.
Yeah, this was technically a rerun.
It was a rerun.
Yeah, definitely a rerun. But I will say, I think Fate in general is just at its best when it's handling character-driven stories.
Absolutely.
It has, some of them have good plots. I will definitely say that for sure. But I think most of the best things that come from Fate are from examining different characters' interactions with each other and with their own backstory and why that's relevant to them in the current situation. It's pretty cool. They did a good job with Dante's as well, despite being a weird 7-day gotcha game event. So.
Yeah.
Well, Dante seems to be a favorite of Nasu because he keeps coming back. He just randomly shows up at stuff and it's like, oh, hey, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping out. Bye now.
What's up? What's up, my homie?
We will get you that shirt, I promise.
Speaking of that, brief aside, we're planning to go, at least some of us are planning to go to one of the Fate Go USA tour locations. No spoilers on which one it is, you naughty dogs.
I tweeted it
Oh,
out.
well, it doesn't matter at all.
If you don't tell them what it is, how will they be able to come up and say, hi, I like your podcast?
Please, I mean, if you want to, go ahead.
If you could somehow identify us solely through our voices, because we haven't posted it. Not only will I be impressed, but I will be terrified.
Yeah. So please do. But anyway,
It's a very distinctive
we will
voice.
be at ASIN to check out the Fate Go USA thing, and I will get one of the "What's Up, My Homies" T-shirts.
He is determined.
I will be there Friday morning to pick up one. They're not going out of stock. God damn it. Anyway, so
All right, so I think that's about all we
We're
wanted
good
to
on
say
that.
about Dante's.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so after that we have Valentine's. We have Valentine's, technically a rerun because they kept the story and the shop and everything the same. Future Valentine's events will all be different.
Oh, okay.
So this was technically a rerun of last year's Valentine's event, but yeah, what'd you guys think of that? I think Cole, you played a bit of last year's Valentine's.
I played like the very end, and I was very confused by it because Valentine's has kind of a weird farming system where it has both CEs where you get a bonus based on what class you're farming with and what class that
classes has the advantage against,
Yeah.
which is very weird. But ultimately, as long as you get the right CEs equipped, it's just like, oh, well, it's just I have a bunch of the best CE for the job. And honestly, you can actually get a good number of them. And also, I rolled a lot on this one because I really wanted My Heroine X Academy Alter.
Super.
But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I tried to roll for her too. It didn't work out.
Very sad. No Megane Sith Lord. But the good news was that I did get a whole bunch of cute orangettes, so I was able to farm pretty effectively with those. That was nice. So yeah, honestly, I've already forgotten what the story was. It left no impression on me whatsoever.
As did I.
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
Oh yeah.
Shakespeare was like, "Hey,
I'm totally not the bad guy here.
let's go collect chocolate."
I was amused by the recurring banter of, "Hey, look at this convenient thing." You're like, "You're the villain, aren't you?" And he's like, "No."
And he actually wasn't.
To be honest, I like the story of the MHX trial quest.
Yeah, that was
Actually,
really good.
A lot more.
That was great.
It was just really fun. It felt like this could be like just a full anime. I just want a full anime.
Yeah, that feels like just an OVA or something. That they like just a little
I
one-off.
cannot wait to actually play the Saber Wars event, but I know it's like a long way off.
Honestly, it's closer to the plot of your archetypal high school anime than anything else in Fate.
That's
almost
really weird. God. Anyway, yeah, no, the story was alright. The farming was weird as heck, but if you could get the hang of it, it had pretty decent farming. In fact, I found you could get a shitload of those, baking chocolates fairly easily, which was nice for maxing out the shop.
the crushing sadness that I felt when I realized that it was actually just significantly more efficient to just sell all your chocolate coins as opposed to getting chocolate from your servants.
Well, yeah, but then you don't get the scenes, and that's the entire point of the event. Really.
That is kind of like it's almost worth it. I got Drake's scene, I got Raiko's scene, I got Mash's scene at the very end.
Yeah,
everyone got that.
Which I was terrified that they just weren't going to have one.
I told you to have faith.
Yeah. Well, you played this event already.
I know. And also, worth noting, because I'm still kind of a bit of a completionist. I started out trying to get all of the chocolate C's, and I was like, no, I really don't care about a lot of these, so I'm just gonna get the ones for the characters I like. But worth noting, this year they introduced the male servant scenes. Those were not a thing last year.
I will say, for myself, I'll lie to you, bald-faced right now, and say that I only got Reen's chocolate, and by that I mean Ishtar's. But I did get a couple others. But the point is, I really just basically ignored all of that entirely and just went for the coins because I'm like, give me those mats.
So worth noting.
Also, I love how Astolfo has both a giving chocolate and a getting chocolate.
Yeah, I
from
believe
scene.
I believe all of the sort of no gender servants have that. Enkidu, Daeon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Da-
Chevalier Daeon.
The one we
Dan.
forget that it's in this
Yes,
game.
I remember. Dan.
Dan.
Yeah. I do often forget that character's in the game. Really, I do.
So in starting next year with Valentine's, it's not actually going to be coin-based farming anymore. It's going to be based on points, and you basically
like
get
their points.
They do like their point systems.
So you get items. You get a bunch of items that you can exchange for a random
No.
chocolate seed, and a few items that you can exchange for a specific
Okay,
one.
fine.
So,
Loot boxes.
All I care about is Ishtar's.
so you will get a few specific ones, but worth noting, if you hold on to your current chocolate seeds, you will those will all be ready to be checked off. You won't have to get those again next year. But the year after that, they fully voice all of the scenes. So at that point, you want to sell them all so that you can get them again and get the voice version.
Wow, that's way too many steps. But I agree. I will probably do at least for Ishtar's again.
Also, molds are great.
Yeah, molds made the farming okay.
I was
without the
using
molds,
them-
it would suck.
Usually I don't use the items that are like, oh, it'll do this effect on the fight. It'll, increase your quick effectiveness
This
or
is the
something.
first time I've ever seen an effect like that, so I guess I don't know.
There have been some other events that have done that. Summer did that. Onigashima did that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the first time where I actually was using them quite a bit.
Yeah, you basically couldn't run out. And even if you did, you would just buy a couple more for basically nothing.
Yeah, I did actually get quite a few of I think it was the Archer ones. But, yeah, they're,
I think that's it for Valentine's.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
There wasn't much else to say. The
we
grinding was
talked-
weird, but we got through it. The CEs were kind of nice, There's a couple funny ones, but I don't know. What I will say is I've learned to start actually reading the descriptions of CEs and stuff. I actually click on that little tab because some of them are pretty freaking funny, especially during these Gouda Gouda events. But spoilers anyway. So next on our list.
All right, so
Spoilers
after
for
that,
current timeline.
there was a few just random giveaways, and then we got to Shinjuku.
So
Are we counting Shinjuku? It's a chapter.
Yeah.
release.
So what we're going to do for this is just briefly talk about first impression stuff because Cole and I haven't even finished Shinjuku yet, which I know it sounds heretical, but we've just had so much other stuff to do in the meantime. Gouda Gouda started 2 weeks after, and we're like, well, crud.
Yeah, and we'll probably do a full Arc 1.5 analysis we did with Arc 1.
Yeah.
When it's all out.
Yeah, we'd like to
At
do
the
that.
end of the year.
Yeah, because we'll definitely be doing it still at the end of the year. There's no doubt.
No doubt.
So
So Shinjuku.
this is the minimal spoilers version.
Yeah,
Only
we're gonna keep the spoilers to basically no spoilers.
I think we should
except-
still use the names of Archer of Shinjuku and stuff because some people will have not played it yet.
So keep it to the
Basically,
not true names.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
yeah.
the stuff from the first 10 sections or whatever before they start revealing all the secrets and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. First thoughts?
Brief feel I really like the aesthetic of this thing. It's almost it's basically Fate's Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's the closest thing Fate's really gotten to Cyberpunk.
Neo's Tokyo, Neo Shinjuku.
Neo New Tokyo.
Neo Shinjuku's in Tokyo, whatever.
So it is technically Neo New Tokyo.
It is, yeah. Neo New Tokyo. Yeah. So, the aesthetic's great. I definitely agree. And I think the strength of this, and now, parroting myself from earlier, is the characters in this one are really interesting. They're different as heck. You haven't seen many characters like this. You get, the Saber, it's just Saber Alter. It's
just Saber Alter.
There's no secrets there. Yeah, Saber Alter is great to see her in a
I am big bad guy, fight me, man.
Yeah, you get to see her actually have a personality.
Yeah, it's great.
And she is living in the basement of a burger shop.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
With a dog.
With a dog.
Yes, Caval too.
Dude, it's awesome. Then you get like Jean Alter in there, and that's
Dude,
awesome too.
their interactions are so great.
It's really funny. It's really funny. Yeah, I like that. Archer of Shinjuku is a very interesting.
He's just a great character.
He's a great character. Yeah, and he's great throughout.
He's fun.
And, you know, it's a lot of cool interactions with a lot of traditionally evil servants. You know, getting to interact in a sort of anti-hero-esque manner, which is nice. Although I will say when you compare like Saber Alter to what she is in like Heaven's Feel Lost of Butterfly, it's like I don't know which one I like more, but like they're
almost two different characters.
They really are. The one in Shinjuku is just like Fate goes like interpretation of what this character could be in a completely different world.
Mm-hmm.
If she wasn't trying she was less. If she wasn't being used for a specific purpose as a servant, what she would sort of do on
weird.
Saber Alter's day off. Basically.
It's so weird, yeah. It's because you'd never see Saber or Saber Alter as it's what she is. Saber is in all of the side content spinoffs, where she's like just like adorable, wearing lion cat suits and like
Master, I am hungry.
and like eating tons of food. But this is the Saber Alter version of that.
So it's goth version of that.
Exactly.
It's objectively better.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but I mean I love
she
both
only
versions.
eats burgers.
Only burgers.
Yeah. So anyway, point being, I'm really liking the characters. I will say I got to one of the bigger plot points in this, and I won't spoil what it is or what it meant to me. We can talk about that more in the follow-up, but it kind of disappointed me, and I know apparently it gets better near the end.
It does.
But man, I was like, it was part of the reason I stopped stopped focusing on it was because I was like, oh man, it kind of makes me not care about this as much. So anyway,
it gets a lot better.
Okay, I will have to finish it. So
and I feel like I'm going to like how it ended a lot more than you guys will, but the ending was absolutely amazing.
So real quick, we can't really talk about almost any of the servants here. The other archer, true archer of Shinjuku,
edgy archer of Shinjuku.
What can we even call? I mean,
Archer Alter.
Yeah, Archer Alter.
Like, if you know anything about Fate, that basically gives away who.
I mean, they say who it is as soon as he shows up.
Oh yeah, they do.
They do.
You know what? We're just going to say it's Emmy Alter. We all know this one. Everyone knows this. Mm-hmm. Okay, Emmy Alter's in this. Sorry if you didn't know, but like, it's. I wanted to briefly talk about something that someone mentioned on one of our Reddit posts. Was the whole them changing the skin color of Emmy Alter in the English version. Now, from what I've seen, I did some research into both this localization change and into, generally speaking, blackface in general as well. Because, like, the reason they changed it was because the art on the poster for Emmy Alter looked like blackface.
It did.
It really did. He had very...
It was pretty bad.
Literal black features with big, like puffy white lips, pink lips, which is very indicative of the blackface style. And the reason, that's offensive, in case you don't know, is because it was used as... in theater productions where they were like the black people were always portrayed as like jesters and stuff like that, like the charlatans, like very offensive, racially stereotyped thing. So Japan's not always the most culturally sensitive about this kind of thing
because they didn't grow up with it. Honestly, they didn't grow up learning about the Civil War and like. So they have a very different view on racism than like we, who are kind of immersed in it.
And in all fairness, so I did some more research into the localization change. It's mostly on the poster that it was that bad. From what I could tell, like the character art and stuff wasn't nearly as like blackfacey, and like the artist who originally did the work himself was posted other versions of it that didn't look so bad. So I'm like, I think it's just clear that this was a more or less bigger mistake that they just chose that they didn't think much of in the Japanese version, but when they localized it, they're like, oh wait, we really cannot publish this.
Yeah.
And good on them for changing
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah, it would have been terrible
as
PR
as someone
if they had left it.
as someone personally who like fucking hates it every time like Nintendo cuts boobs out of like Fire Emblem or something. Like this was probably a wise decision.
Yeah, there's censorship in terms of like, for like sexual like reasons and stuff like that, and you can argue for the end to the end of time whether or not it's a good idea in various properties. But this one's
we
like
might
just,
have an episode on that.
This one's basically just cut and dry. Like that shouldn't have been in the game in the first place, and I'm glad they cut it out of our version. So
yeah.
Anyway, do you guys have anything else you want to say about Shinjuku before we move on?
I don't think so.
Not without horrible spoilers.
I am so fucking happy that I rolled Drake for this event. There are so many goddamn casters.
Because she's technically an evil servant.
Yeah.
For some reason. For some reason.
She's a pirate.
But she's not.
Remember Madame Francis Drake?
So
very evil.
I personally tried to complete the entire event using only evil servants the entire time, with the occasional exception for support servants. And also, I tried to always use the Mystic Code from Zero, where it's like, the saber suit basically to just fit the whole aesthetic.
Nice.
I did eventually have to change the Mystic Code because it did not work with the few evil servants that I had.
Did you switch to mages? Did you switch to mages?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've been using the Mages Association suit for a while now, and I see why you guys like it, but I still kind of prefer the plug suit overall.
I mean, most people do. I prefer mages.
I love the 20% MP charge. Like, that's awesome, but... And I play around it too much now, but like it's like honestly the only. I mean, the command card shovel's nice too.
That one is fun.
The heal is just nice.
I don't really feel the heal very much, but yeah, it happens.
The heal is the only thing that actually gets better as the levels up. But we're getting a little sidetracked here. Basically,
we'll have an episode on Mystic Codes and like other shit like that.
Sure.
I imagine
for the math episode.
Yeah, we're gonna have a math episode, and it's gonna be fun.
TM.
So I think I was eventually able to beat it with only evil servants, so I feel proud about that.
That's very nice. I literally couldn't do that. I have like 3 evil servants.
Media helped a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and what I mean, and I also
Gordon was surprisingly great.
I just use Cool Alter. That's just cool. Actually, I use Cool Alter and Hassan of the Cursed Arm because I think he's evil.
Yeah, he's evil.
Yeah.
I used him a lot too, and
he's good.
Again, for
Assassin
some reason.
Emiya.
I mean,
I used Kiritsugu a lot too.
He's definitely evil in Heaven's Feel.
Yeah.
I believe all of the Hassans are technically evil.
And they're assassins, so they're bad boys.
As someone who's minorly obsessed with D&D, I have issues with the alignment system, but we'll talk about that another time.
Oh yeah, no, we can have an entire episode.
We do
about
need
the
to have
system.
a talk about alignment system versus like D&D and how other stuff is like tied into that,
and the fucking ridiculousness that is chaotic summer, and how that's an alignment.
Oh, chaotic pride, chaotic insane. They're all lawful insane. But we should keep moving though because our time is beginning to run a bit low.
Yeah.
So after Shinjuku, we had a couple weeks to finish Shinjuku, and then we moved on to. Are we going to count the Chaldea Boys collection?
No, I don't care about that. Despite the fact that it was White Day.
It was mostly just a giveaway thing.
There was the Proto Saber trial
that was
quest,
cool.
Yeah.
which was fun.
That was
I liked hanging. I liked hanging.
I
out
found
with
it very
Arthur.
weird that they were 2 disjointed stories that were technically kind of connected, but mostly just felt separate to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I wish they had just done the 1 second one, which was way better. But whatever.
Yeah. But in a couple of years, we will be getting a proper White Day event, like also a proper New Year's event as well.
Not just like GSSR and some free stuff.
Yeah, no, they will become actual full on events of their own.
The free CEs were fun.
Yeah,
I did like.
they're fun, but still useless, man. Dude, why can't they give us like C's that are like good? Anyway, whatever. I have to earn
'Cause
those.
then
I
you
know.
won't buy
I need
quartz.
the points. Whatever. So let's move on. We have like
So-
what Gouda Gouda left.
Yes, after that is Gouda Gouda rerun
Yeah.
from last, or no, actually it would have been a
weeks
year and a half ago
Oh, I see what you're
because it was Gouda Gouda 1 was also one of the first events. It happened within that first like 6 months of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, year and a half ago for us, obviously, but so I was the only one who was playing back when it first came out, but this was actually the event that got me starting to kind of try and bring them into the game, because I was like, hey, if you guys want to get Nobunaga as a servant, you kind of have to start playing now. And I hope that eventually got people to start playing, but
It was Ishtar.
It's still an archer.
yeah.
Anyway, I thought the event was competent. It had fun stuff in it. I
It's a
liked.
lot better than Moon Goddess.
Yeah, it had a not good story, but funny story at times. I chuckled. I gave it a few laughs. I liked the "now boo," like the sound effects from
Yeah,
the Nobu bots are
the
pretty
mini
great.
Nobus are great.
Actually, having voice lines like in the story is like disconcerting to me. It was a I guess I can't talk about spoilers.
Well, I think that is just more in the second Go event, which we're gonna get to in a minute.
But yeah, no, it was cute. In the battles, they made cute noises. The farming was fairly, efficient and decent. They gave us, a week or so to do it, and I got everything I wanted. Got my crystallized lore, got my 5 copies. That's how it works.
And
fun.
it wasn't too difficult to get all the points that you needed because of the daily.
Yeah, literally by the
things.
end, I think I had
if you
over
get
2
all
million.
of the ones every day, I didn't have quite that much, but it was I was easily able to get the crystallized lore by the last day.
Was this
so
your first
it was-
welfare servant, Jacob?
Oh no! I mean, I started playing right as Christmas started.
Saber
Right,
Altar would
right.
have been,
So Saber Altar was definitely my first one, which is a big reason why I still use her to this day. I mean, she's just good. Like she, as a writer, Saber Altar Santa is just like, I mean, she's just
not bad.
She's just a slightly worse version of Saber Altar. Like she's the same rarity. She does her Noble Phantasm's the same, and it's amazing. And she's really good at crits, but she's lacking
She's
some
kind
of
of a
the raw
support
power.
servant almost.
Yeah, she does have some decent heals.
She does
and
have a heal, yeah.
So anyway, she's cool. I use her a lot. She's great for farming the QP quest. So
Yeah.
But for Gouda Gouda, I don't think there's that much more to say. Honestly, props to the voice actress, because the person who plays Nobunaga, I believe, also does all of the mini Nobus.
yeah.
And Cleopatra.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Same voice.
That's a fucking jump.
It
pretty
shows
good
a lot
stuff.
of range, and that's impressive.
So let's really briefly go through Gouda Gouda 2.
Well, we're still partway through that.
Electric
and
Boogaloo.
we have a bit of a civil war going on here because
I mean, okay, so here's the story. Cole the other day in chat goes like, alright, so y'all are with the Shinsengumi, right? And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I haven't even gotten to the event yet. And he's like, oh, never mind. And so I get through that far, and then I'm like, well, I guess, actually, I'm with the Oda Bafuku. and, so yeah,
is that how it's pronounced?
it's ODA BAFUKU?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You kind of like leave off a little bit. You could say Bafuku.
I wasn't sure.
You could say
which...
Bafuku, but like they usually just kind of go like Bafuku. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure which syllable was supposed to be accented.
And whatever. Anyway, point is, death to the blue. But honestly, though, I mean, here's the dumb thing: is that Cole freaking told me last night that you have to grind both points to get all of the like ascensions and stuff for Cha-Cha, and since she looks like whatever best friend character is from Kill la Kill. Mako.
Mako.
Yeah. Since she looks somewhat similar to Mako from Kill la Kill. I need to have her. Plus, I mean, just welfare servants. I mean, like, I'm gonna take everyone I can get at this point, being relatively new to the game. So please just give them to me. Yeah. Anyway, so like, I've been playing just almost as much on the Shinsengumi side since I learned that. So I'm like, whatever. It's kind of a lame flavor fail. I feel like that you have to play both sides. And not even, like, just have the option to, but, like, have to.
To get her, yeah.
To be fair, though, you can choose a side for each individual battle. Like, I did end up switching sides.
Yeah. I clicked on the Shinsengumi side on this one, and I'm like, whatever, I guess.
now that I know that, I'm a little less into this event, to be perfectly honest. Because that was kind of the thing that, like, oh, that's really cool. You get part of a team, and then you get, like, it reminded me of, if anyone out there, it reminded me of Scryer and Aldor in WoW, if anyone played that long ago.
I have no idea. But it's a relatively easy to understand concept. Nintendo's done stuff like this, various games have done this before. But yeah, it's just a cool idea where, you have to pay yourself against other players to rack up the most points. Whichever side wins gets a bonus of those points. But, like, from what I understand, even if you lose, your side loses, you still get the points from the other side.
I still got the red points.
So... Okay. Yeah, it, like, literally doesn't matter at all which side you choose, but the story evolves in a kind of neat way, and so far I like the story overall better than the first one. It seems like a cool dynamic thing.
It's a really well-written story, and I honestly don't say that about a lot of the events.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. I'm very amused by it, so... All's well that ends well, I guess. So.
I will say, though, like... I did quite like the characters of the first Gouda Gouda event. Okita and Nobu, I read all of the little promotional comics with them. They were great, so I was really excited to see them come to the game.
Yeah. Okita's fucking adorable, which is mostly why I'm on Blue Team.
This one, I'm not that interested. I honestly can't stand Cha-Cha, like, at all, and Hijikata is completely boring. I mean, that's... And yes, Jacob did just hit me in the head with the water bottle, but it was empty, so it didn't matter.
Okay, first of all, Cha-Cha is adorable. Second of all, Hijikata... Not the best character, but he has his moments, alright? His interactions with Okita in the story are pretty amusing.
And abusive.
It's great.
No, it's not!
It's funny.
One of my favorite lines is when Okita is sick and he just walks in and he's like, "Oh, you're coughing up blood? That must mean you have plenty to spare. Get up."
It was really funny. Okay, whatever. I guess.
I mean, it is a good comedic element. I'm not that interested in these characters. I don't know who they were as they existed in history, so I don't really have much investment in this
wave of like extra weeby servants that we've gotten.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet.
I read the wiki.
Yeah, in the JP server right now, it's just been Japanese servants one after another. It's insane.
Like, I know they want to throw them in there because they know the characters better, and literally Japan makes up like 96% of the revenue stream for this game. It's insane. But
even the most recent thing that's going on right now with the Kama, I think, the Indian deity,
the new character.
It's still a Japanese-themed event that she just happens to be in.
All right, now. Not too many spoilers of super future events.
I know,
so. I don't think that's really a spoiler, but you're all good. Anyway.
I look at the announcements and I'm like, oh, hey, there's a new character, and it's someone else I've never heard of. And it's just, it's a little disappointing.
See, I don't care that much personally because I don't have a laundry list of characters I want added to the game. In fact, I can't even literally think of a single one. So that's another podcast, though.
Cole and I have many.
Yeah.
We have many characters. That would actually be a very good topic. Characters that we want to see in the game.
I'll put it on the giant fucking whiteboard that we have over here of episode ideas.
All right.
Narrator's note. There was no whiteboard.
All right, guys. That'll wrap us up for today. You want to take us out of here, Cole?
Yes. So, Thank you guys for listening. We will be back again with another Good Morning Chaldea episode for you. And as always, see ya!
Oh wait, we didn't have a closing segment. I don't think we need one.
Wait.
We're good for
We
this
might
episode.
we may make up one later. Anyway,
Yeah.
follow us on Twitter at Chaldea Good. At Chaldea Good. I'm bad with words. Goodbye.
Good night!